I think we're on the outskirts of the mire, or at the very least the edge of it. That's the same thing, what am I talking about? But we're getting... There's less and less swamp, there's daylight at long last, and it's starting to turn to actual trees. As in, like, pines.
Are you positive? Because it kind of still smells like swamp.
Yeah, well, it's gonna smell like swamp for miles, because I'm assuming that the scent is being carried by the wind here. I think we traveled so far, and such a small amount of time. You think the knights are still on our trail?
Nah, we should have lost them in the woods.
I thought, but... I don't know. They're tenacious. But then again, who isn't? I'm a little stressed out about our current scenario because, well... The voice said if we lost, then he would cast our souls away. And it looks like if we haven't already lost, then we're on the brink of defeat.
Yeah, I mean... Do we really want to believe him?
I don't know what to think anymore.
At the same time, he's just a voice.
The only real reason I have for trusting him is that we're here because of him. You know what? That actually makes even less sense now that it came out of my mouth. Little side note. I hope Dragon's okay. We haven't seen him in a long time. I hope he managed to get out of Viking territory, no problem.
He should have. She probably would have scared him with his new face.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Curved sword boy would be fine.
Oh, Oberon.
Smoke. Oh.
Well, we found the cathedral.
The cathedral? What cathedral?
Nearby. Well, there is a cathedral, sorry. You know, English words is hard to pronounce when you've been taught the same language.
What's so significant about this cathedral?
Well, I mean, who knows, it could be our...
I guess we do need a place to stay, come to think of it. We've been marching for a long time.
You know, this could actually be the safe haven Enigma was talking about.
Oh yeah, that's right. We might have wandered the direction you specified without really thinking.
You found that guy, didn't you?
Yeah. Remember? It was a couple of days ago we ran into Enigma and he told us some very encouraging words and then said there was a safe haven nearby. Well, let's check it out. Which direction is it?
This is the place.
Interesting.
The cathedral.
Yeah, it's certainly a cathedral. I wonder why there are cathedrals in Limbo.
Could remind you...
Believers?
Hope?
Wait! There's someone there.
Hmm?
Hey!
Okay.
Wait. That face. It's gotta be.
Hmm?
Where'd he go?
I don't know if you want to go too close to that.
Boo!
What? Dragon?
Yes, it is me, Dragon.
Why are you talking like that? And you're here!
Oh, yeah, I found this stronghold, the Enigma guy. The creepy monkey bow staff guy. Tell me to meet you guys here.
Yeah, we ran into him along the way too. Well, glad to see you safe in town. We were worried you were lost inside of Viking territory.
No, I found, but something I did find is I found the Viking stronghold.
Oh,
which apparently, conveniently, happens to have the Viking leader inside of it.
the Overlord?
Yes.
It's safer to, or it's easier to refer to them as Overlords.
Alright.
Well, normally that'd be a stroke of good luck, but I don't know if you've heard, our stronghold, our keep, it was overrun by an army of knights. We tried to stand our
Yes.
ground, but they
Survived.
were way too powerful.
What did you do with them,
With what?
Isaac?
Oh yeah, the prisoner. What happened to the prisoner?
What happened? Well, he told me to take him to the room.
What did you do with them after you took him to the room?
I'd rather not say.
I don't think that's relevant anyway.
I'm gonna
Huh.
start searching
No.
around. You
Yeah.
guys take the inside.
Wow. Oh wait, Dragon, how long have you been here for?
Not very long. I got here like, a few hours ago.
Alright. Isaac, I think Dragon's already scouted the place out. If it wasn't safe, he probably wouldn't be here. If you can hear me, how about instead you grab the rest of the troops, tell them to come here immediately. Like, escort them here.
Okay.
Speaking of the troops, we got an army, don't we?
Not really. The remnants of the keep. I think we're back where we started. There's about 80 to 100 of them, if I had to guess. But it's not enough to storm a stronghold.
Maybe we can make it.
We can try infiltrating the stronghold by flanking it from behind.
Perhaps, but even still. Although...
Isn't he a samurai? He's trying to use a bow and arrow. He could take the leader out from long range, especially since Vikings aren't very well armored.
Here's the thing,
Right.
it's an overlord. He won't be so easily killed. Do you really think you would have been able to take down the Wu Lin overlord with just a bow and an arrow and a well-placed shot?
Well, I mean, I'm not a samurai, but probably not.
They're special.
I'm a good archer, but
I do have one idea.
the
It
idea.
might backfire, but... Well, you ever hear of the part of the Knight Code, the trial by combat? Maybe
No.
we could try appealing to some other knights or other factions by a show of strength?
Make a name.
Something like that, yeah.
Show of strength. You
What
sure
I mean-
about that? We have like 80 to 100 members.
No, what I mean, in the actual living world, back when we were still alive, there were tons of scattered and broken factions. There were rogue knights. They were the ones that stormed us in the first place. But the way that Lord Endon managed to get some of his army and a lot of our wardens, hi Isaac, the way he managed to get them was he fought in various matches in the pit to show off his skills to other warriors. They would realize how strong this leader was and flock to his side. Same with, he would also show up at strongholds and ask anyone for their service, and if they disagreed with him, they had a trial by combat, which was a fight to the death against their two strongest warriors, and whichever side prevailed, they got their entire army. Or at the very least, whoever was willing. It was a system I didn't really approve of, but it could very well work.
What's the plan?
I say the Viking fights. He's used to
Yeah.
fighting in those savage pits.
Yes, I'm thinking maybe we make a name for ourselves in the pit.
Wait, what's
Well, I
going
mean,
on?
who is going then?
Isaac! You know what? Never mind. Well, if anyone is against this idea, say it now.
I guess I could volunteer. I mean, I died that way.
In the pit?
If you died that way, then I'm pretty sure you would be very successful, though. You sure you can
No.
pull this off?
I could. With the abilities I have now, I could take on anyone, even the voice himself.
And I suppose if champions aren't fighting in the pit, you two will be perfectly fine. Though, come to think of it, the odds of there being no champions fighting in a pit are extremely low. Well then, Oberon. We should I guess we should get a lay of the land, but we can find maybe some smaller keeps with, like, lesser lords, and see if we can appeal to them. Maybe, I don't know.
I suggest, before we do anything, we come up with a name for ourselves. A group.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Saying join our army wouldn't really... Yeah, it doesn't really fit quite as well as having an actual name. Oh.
Got some ideas. Names.
Like what?
Well, the Order.
The Order.
I mean...
Yes. I'm not sure. We're not
Bring
really...
order to the land.
We're not really bringing order, we're just doing what we can to survive. A lot of people are going to point that out to us.
How about the Limbo Militia?
Limbo Militia? And
We got more of a militia.
I don't know if any of these will really work.
What about
I mean, I got my name from a book.
Yes, he suggested the Exire. I mean, it's not the worst sounding name, but... Dang, this is hard.
The Resistance?
No, we're not really resisting
Who are we
anything.
resisting against? If anything, we're more of the opposers.
Yeah. Hmm.
How about... the Vanguard!
Ooh. Alliance.
Vanguard? Alliance.
Alliance.
I like
Wait.
it. We're all Knights, Vikings, Samurai, and Woolen united. Makes
That
sense, doesn't it?
is true. We are in unlikely alliance. I think that works. Let's go with that for now.
Settled?
The Vanguard Alliance. Alright.
Alrighty. We are the mighty.
Vanguard Alliance.
Yeah. Okay. Well, with that out of the way, we can at least tell people what they're going to be joining. Okay, well, before we end up throwing ourselves into the pit, we should probably get the troops here, have a night's rest, then in the morning, we'll head off. Although, wait, come to think of it, I don't know of any Viking pits. They'll probably have some in their villages, right?
Yes, they have plenty.
Okay.
Forget this guy's name. Pretty sure there's a Viking warlord named, Svengard? No, that's not it. What's his name?
You're talking about the
something
Overlord?
Guard.
Yeah.
I'm getting
Okay.
tired.
Considering Isaac is still here, I don't think he got the troops. Alright, tell you what, Oberon, you can take a break.
While we're in the afterlife.
Just stay put where you are. I'll get the troops.
Alright.
I know we're limited on the amount of food we have, but I was kind of hoping it would, like, have taste?
We had a lot of unique things in China where I lived, you know.
Yeah, it is very interesting to see all the different, like, the different types of food that different cultures can think of. Like, was there any standoffish things about, like, samurai food culture? What is it?
Well, I mean,
If anything, all they did was steal from our language.
Save it for the
Put
pit.
that weapon down.
Isaac?
Put the weapon down.
What? Hello?
Put...
You were just staring at the window, kind of, like, forlornly. I was just a little concerned.
Sorry.
I'm not gonna put
Actually,
it down.
while we're here, I've been meaning to ask you something.
Yeah?
You never fully finished your story. Remember the very first stronghold we ever took? It was the Forge. And you said something about how you were killed by one of your friends? Or
Yeah.
betrayed. If
Well-
you don't mind me asking about it. If you don't want to talk about it, that's perfectly fine.
Well, I guess. I do need to get out of my chest one more time. Well, so, back in, the Viking village, I was one of the most strongest members in the entire Viking clan, surprisingly. Worked real hard for that. Looks like there's few people having bounties on my head, including the Wu Wang and the samurais. And, I was taking patrol across because there was a whole festival going on. Because the wolf meat just came in, and my own soldiers turned their backs on me and went for the bounty.
Oh.
And I was murdered.
You were slaughtered by one of your own, that's... I'm sorry,
also,
I had no idea.
Also, the worst part about that, the knights came in out of nowhere. I didn't even know they had a bounty on my head.
Oh, sorry? I wasn't part of that.
You guys are different.
You know, that's one thing I've actually found myself wondering about. If it hadn't have been for any of this, anything happening here in Limbo, if we were all still alive, we would be enemies, wouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We're all from different factions, and the realm of the living is chaos.
I have a different story about the Viking.
Mm-hmm. Want to talk about it?
Sure.
Yeah.
So, I was enjoying time, family.
You had a family?
Yes,
Wow, I didn't know you were a father.
I was.
Right.
Was.
Sorry.
Before the Vikings
like I was a
came through
warrior.
our village and burned everything to the ground.
If you don't want to talk about it, it's fine.
Yes, prisoner, and tortured me, and made me the slave. I remember the cries. Cried. And they just
Stole our
laughed at
food.
me. You killed my brother.
Oberon. I understand. Or at least, I think I do. The pain you felt, it's indescribable. But, just try to understand. Isaac might be a Viking, but he had no part in that. Just,
You better hope he doesn't.
he didn't.
You stole our food.
I didn't steal
Stop.
nothing. I wasn't part of no war.
Both of you, stop!
Well, it seems us trying to tell each other our lives before we came into Limbo was started to a huge fight. I
Yes,
suggest not
dragon.
doing that again.
Look. Both of you have felt pain because of the other's faction. And believe me, I'm no exception. But we're
just
here
wanted to
now and
be
we're fighting together. And remember, are you really angry at each other? Or the faction that you're a part of? Isaac, did the samurai take your food and supplies, or did Oberon? Oberon, did Isaac burn down your village, or did the Vikings? Just because we're part of the Alliance doesn't mean that we are responsible for all of their actions.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I am too.
Just
Emotions can spiral out of control.
Anger.
I guess...
Don't worry. That anger will go towards the pit.
Right.
I suggest you try Twila. It's a technique. It helps me calm down.
Not a bad idea. I'd probably do that if I could move around this armor a bit more.
I'm gonna walk around.
Speaking of... Yeah, sure. Speaking of armor, I'm gonna get some new armor. I've been wearing the same one for so long.
Yeah, and it looks
You
really
have
black and
new
dirty. You should probably
shipments
you know,
of
get it
armor?
clean and stuff.
Yeah, that's in my best interest too.
You have any
What, Oberon?
Shipments of armor?
Not new shipments. It's more like we've just been carrying around kind of half of an armory. And, well... although this one's probably more durable, the other armor is probably cleaner, and... well... I just need to get into something different. I'm keeping the sword, though. The sword's fine. Nice and sharp. Well,
Get new armor.
if I don't see you, good night, I guess.
Good night,
Hopefully I'll get to
and good
sleep.
luck.
Yep.
Lord knows I won't.
That almost spiraled out of control.
It did. I'd tell my origin story, but you know, I'm probably going to.
Honestly, just seeing them like that, it just makes me think twice about what we're doing now. Sorry,
Yeah,
never mind.
Thinking about it, we really should be enemies, but we're not. Working together just to serve this thing that we call the voice.
Well, it's either we work towards this wish or get our souls cast away. Whatever the consequence was. Anyway, I'm heading to the armory and then off to bed. I'll see you later, Dragon.
There.
Oh! Oh no. I think the food's coming out the other way. Damn it.